So, I am born and raised from Chicago, Illinois. Thank you. Two people. Love you guys. I'll take what I can get, right? We're on the West Coast. It's okay. I understand. You guys' winters are nice, though. I moved here. I live in Portland now. Yeah. That's why we decided to do these shows. I was like, hey, our touring year's done. You know, it'd be cool doing a couple shows intimate in a cool spot. And I started looking up venues, and I stopped on this one, and I was like, yeah, hell yeah, this is good. I like that. Anyways, your winters, I moved there, and your winters, I realized everyone was like, oh, Northwest, oh, so depressing, wah. And I was like, you guys never been through a Chicago winter, have you? That shit's way worse. You guys get drizzly rain, ooh. So, yeah, really brutal Portland, yeah. Ice and snow and all that wind, This is easy. This is easy, so I like it. Anyways, I'm from Chicago, and my mother and my stepfather owned a restaurant on the south side growing up, and there was... we would always, we grew up poor, and they'd bring us kids into the restaurant at, 4 or 5 in the morning when they would start prepping their daily stuff, and we would just be hanging out there and everything. And it wasn't in the best neighborhood, but whatever. It is what it is. I think that's where character is born and, shed. Anyways, one day, this gangbanger comes in my dad's restaurant, and he tags my dad's bathroom of the restaurant. And I don't know if you guys know what that means, but in that world, it means you're claiming that space, and it now kind of belongs as their territory. So my dad didn't like that, and he erased the graffiti. And then a few days later, the guy comes back, and he tags it again. And my dad was like, all right, I'm just going to erase it again. And then the guy comes back a third time. And my dad thought it would be an amazing idea to follow him into the bathroom and beat the shit out of him. The story's not done yet, so I don't think it was the best option. But I'm going to tell you guys why. So a few days after that, we're in the kitchen, 5 in the morning, and we hear screeching of tires. And all of a sudden, they did a drive-by on our restaurant while us kids were in there. One of my first memories is getting thrown to the floor and covered up by my parents as they, shot out all the windows and bullets flying everywhere. So no, it was not a good idea to do that. But, my parents got scared, and rightfully so. I couldn't imagine going through that with kids. And so they sold the restaurant, and they moved further south of Chicago. And then they did a really weird thing. They decided to join the Pentecostal religion. I don't know if you guys know what Pentecostal is, but I call it the step right before snake handling. Yeah. Great times. Anyways, they joined that, and that was very weird for me coming from Chicago, going into that world. And I don't think that church liked me very much either, because I was always treated like an outcast, and they didn't really accept me as one of their own. So it sucked growing up, and I was there for about, till I turned 18. And I just got through it. I distracted myself with books and music, and kept my head down and just stayed the course. And I turned 18, and it was like, phew, I was gone. I left. I ran away. I didn't want any part of it. I didn't hold any grudges against them, to each their own. Some people suck, religion or no religion. It has nothing to do with that, right? But before I continue the story, I do want to say some things, because sometimes I tell this story, and I get people, they never come up to me face to face, but I'll get these messages on Facebook or to my email every now and then. It'll be like, Shawn, I was at your show last night. I heard what you had to say about through that song and about God. I had no idea you were anti-God and anti-religion. I'm never listening to your music again. And I'm like, you're mistranslating all of that. I am in no way, shape, or form anti-God or anti-religion. What I am is I believe that none of us should give a flying fuck about what anyone else thinks, what they choose to believe, who they choose to love, what they choose to do with their bodies. As long as they're not hurting anyone else, why the hell should I care, right? That's my religion. Now I can tell the story and you guys can't get mad at me. No weird messages. No emails. Oh, and with the purchase of tonight's ticket, you also signed a waiver that you cannot complain. You didn't read the fine print, didn't you? No. Anyways, so I moved away, and I'm like 12 years older than my little sister. And a few years after I moved away, I get a call from her, and she's crying. And I say, Tula, what's wrong? What's going on? And she proceeds to tell me that she's going through a lot of the same bullshit that I did growing up. And she's starting to have a lot of dark thoughts about life and whether she wanted to continue it or not. And that just broke my heart. And so I talked with her, and I gave her some tips and advice on how to get through and what I did, you know, and she seemed to be in a better place. And so I got off the phone with her, and I was so mad that she was going through that stuff that I picked up a guitar and I wrote this next song as a big old fuck you to any individual, any group of people, any organization or religion for that matter that puts themselves up on a pedestal and looks down on other people saying that they're not good enough to be up where they are. I think that's a bunch of bullshit and doesn't belong anywhere in the world today. And so I wrote one of the most saddest, depressing songs of my life. And I put it out on my first album, Shadows, in 2012, and no one really liked it. I even stopped playing it live because no one liked it, I could tell. And I was like, all right, fine. That's my beautiful baby. I'll love it, and I'll just keep it in private, you know, whatever. And then one day, this video game company by the name of Naughty Dog, in affiliation with Sony PlayStation, put out a video game trailer for the game The Last of Us 2. And some of you guys know. And they featured my sad, depressing song in this trailer, sung by a video game character named Ellie. And overnight, my least popular song that I would never play live became the most popular song I ever released in my life, and still is to this day, which is ridiculous when you think about it. So I would like to dedicate this next song to anyone who's ever been told that they're not good enough, to anyone who's ever felt like an outcast, and anyone who's ever felt like they don't belong. I'm here tonight to tell you that you do belong. You are good enough, and I'm so glad that you all are here with me. So thank you for coming out. This one's called Through the Valley. I walk through the valley under the shadow of death, and I fear no evil because I'm blind to it all. In my mind, in my gun, they comfort me, because I know I'll kill my enemies when they come. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me on the days of my life, and I will dwell on this earth forevermore. Said I walk beside the still waters and lay, restore my soul, but I can't walk on the path of the right, 'cause I'm wrong. When I came upon a man at the top of a hill, called himself the savior of the human race. Said I come to save the world from destruction and pain. I said, how can you save the world from itself? 'Cause I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and I feel no evil, 'cause I'm blind. And I walk beside the still waters, and they restore my soul. But I know when I die, my soul is damned. I said I know when I die, my soul is damned. Now I know when I die, my soul is damned. Cheers, everybody. Thank you very much.